The Chief Quality Control Officer of this channel has insisted for the filming of this video, the door must stay open so that way he can play with his toy underneath it. And through the door. You know what, let me take video and show you. So that's the door, that's the closet. He keeps pushing the straw that he likes to play with underneath there and underneath there. So the door has to be open so you can do that. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Savannah Smiles. And
it's your girl, Invest with Queenie.
So this is the first time on my channel. Ramsey. So this is the first time on my channel I'm doing anything like this, and this is a collaboration with another YouTuber who isn't my boyfriend. What? And this one's kind of a special one because it is still stay at home. We could not go and do this in person. So before this gets started, I just want to do a little shout out for Invest with Queenie. She is a financial channel centered out of Australia. She is very detail oriented and I was very impressed by her professionalism during this whole process. If you guys want to go check her out, I definitely recommend doing that. She is a very professional, very well thought out. There's a lot of planning that goes into her videos, and overall she just seems like this is a YouTuber you want to follow. So today Queenie and I are going to be going over 10 easy plants to take care of. I think that's going to be the title of this video. I don't really know yet, but we will see what this ends up being. Queenie actually included some nice plant tips for taking care of your plant.
Hey Savannah, thank you so much for having me on the channel. Here are some plant tips that you can use to take care of your indoor plants. Number 1, make sure that you understand the plant that you've bought and you read the label. Then you'll know how much water, sunlight, and the temperature it prefers. And then you'll be able to easily assess while you're shopping for plants whether you can give it the right conditions it needs. Number 2, remember to get really good quality soil. When I first started shopping for plants, I bought the cheapest soil that I could find. After just a couple of months, these bugs started appearing on the ceiling of our apartment, and I was a bit confused because I had no idea where it was coming from. So I went back to the plant shop. He told me that if you buy the really cheap potting soil, sometimes they can have animal bones and in the soil, and this festers like insects and things like that. That's why it's really important to ensure that you're getting really good quality soil. You'll be less likely to bring pests into your house. Number 3, make sure that you buy healthy plants. Before you buy a plant, make sure that you inspect the leaves and also the soil for any insects or any signs of decaying or problems with your plant. Number 4, don't overwater your plant. Overwatering is the biggest reason why indoor houseplants. So make sure that before you water your plants, you just check the soil a little bit and pat it down to see if it's a bit damp or if it's already wet. If it's dry, then of course put some water in it. But if it's a little bit moist and wet, you probably want to avoid watering your plant. Number 6, fertilize your plants once a month. I myself personally use this dry, sort of like grainy looking fertilizer. I find this fertilizer is perfect for me. It's slow release, so it's not giving the plants too much fertilizer and more than what they need. Number 7, prune your plants and prune them of any dead looking leaves. Not only does this help you with the aesthetic of your plants, but it also helps your plants stay healthy as well.
Here's the tea. While she may have gotten all of the plant tips, I thought of one she did not think of. Keep the plants your cat will eat out of their reach. So Ramsey does not like Sansevieria type plants. I've heard that these are very toxic for them. He does not eat these, so I can leave this down low right here with me on the floor. He's not gonna try to eat it. I know that my cat will eat anything with leaves, so I know I have to take plants like that out of his way. I have made that mistake a few times, so that is another little plant care tip I would add on there. If you have animals that will eat your plants, or certain types of plants, keep those plants out of their reach. All right, and with all those plant care tips out of the way, let's get into 10 plants that are easy to care for. So I'll pass off the number 1 spot over to Queenie.
So the first plant for easy maintenance is the snake plant. I really love the snake plant because it's really low maintenance, it doesn't need a lot of water or heaps of sunlight, and it's one of those plants which can really survive, and it's not too fussy about how much sunlight or shade it gets. So it's the perfect indoor plant. So if you are new to plants and you are looking at getting a snake plant, it might be worthwhile looking at a pot with a hole in it. This plant really doesn't need a lot of water, and overwatering this plant can kill it.
So kind of a cool thing with the Sansevieria snake plants too is that they actually do come in a variety of colors and types. So for example, this is a braided Sansevieria. I also have cylindrica Sansevieria, which are more cylindrical, as the name implies. And so these come in a lot of different varieties, and they're very easy to take care of. For number 2, that would be the Pothos plant. These plants I absolutely love because they make perfect indoor plants. My only issue with them is that my cat likes to get at them. I've heard that they are toxic to cats. However, Ramsey was found in the streets, and I think he must have survived on way harsher things than the Pothos because he killed one of Graham's Pothos that he had when I first moved in. Regardless, I still keep them out of Ramsey's way just in case they are toxic to him, and also because he kills them. One of the things I like about the Pothos is that they don't like direct sunlight, which means that they can go in rooms of your house where typically a lot of other plants cannot. So for example, I have 2 of them in my bathroom where they get indirect sunlight, but they absolutely flourish in there. One of the fun things with these plants too is that they are so customizable. For me, I have how many different varieties? I have 4 different varieties. I have the normal green Pothos, I have the Snow Queen Pothos, the golden Pothos, and the neon Pothos. So they are absolutely gorgeous. They come in so many different colors, and I am so excited to keep expanding my Pothos collection. In terms of care, they like bright indirect sunlight. You know, don't let your cat eat them. They like to be watered once to twice a week, and you usually can tell if your Pothos needs water because the leaves will start kind of curling down in on itself. And definitely if it gets to that point, water it as soon as possible. And when I water them, I don't just lightly water them like maybe you would do with a Sansevieria. I water these. But besides that, the care on these are extremely easy. You just have to remember to water them. So for number 3, I'm going to pass that off to Queenie.
Number 3, succulents. If there's one plant which really doesn't need a lot of water, it's succulents. Look how well this one's doing. I don't even remember the last time I watered this plant. It's actually kind of funny because when I first got this plant, it was really cute and small, and now it looks like a bit of a monster. So make sure that when you do get a succulent, you don't overwater these guys because they really just don't like a lot of water. And it is important that if you do have a succulent, try and give it a lot of light. So put it in a place which gets a lot of light because they really do like sunlight.
And definitely something I want to add on this is that succulents are so much fun. You can get them where they grow huge, it's like bigger than my head, where they grow really tall, where they grow like a bush, where they grow like a vine. So I definitely think for someone that is learning plants, these are a great plant to get. They are really easy to take care of, and they come in so many different varieties. And from a design standpoint, you could have a huge garden full of them and have no 2 of the same kind. It's absolutely incredible to me. So these are definitely something I recommend because there are so many you can choose from on these. So number 4 is the Chinese money plant. Now personally, this is one I have and I absolutely love it. I actually initially chose this plant for myself because I loved the look of it. I thought they were super neat and that it looked almost like little lily pads but on a bush. These plants are really easy to take care of. Just like with the Pothos, they like bright and direct sunlight. For this one though, I do have it outside. It is on our back patio and it is undercover. Typically what you'll see when these plants are out in direct sunlight is that the leaves will end up burned, and you can see with mine, it looks totally fine. Usually I water mine about once a week. I don't give it as much water as the Pothos. I give it about as much water as you would when you are watering a Sansevieria, although you are watering the Chinese money plant with a much higher frequency than you are the Sansevieria. The one thing that will this plant super fast is to put it out in direct sunlight. It can handle being outdoors, but make sure you put it in a shaded area or put it inside in a room that gets a lot of bright and direct sunlight. Number 5 is going to be the Cactus. This kind of ties in with Queenie's succulents, but I haven't seen quite as many varieties of cactus, but there are still so many out there. They can grow tall, they can grow short, they can be, small and round, they can grow off all sorts of types of stems. They can even grow flowers and fruits. So I really think that cactus are kind of a fun addition to design space that has a lot of succulents because they can add a nice texture to it. Typically on these, I recommend watering them if it is one you can touch. Don't touch one that's pokey, obviously, but if you can touch it and it's a little bit squishy, then water it then. Or if it is one that is very spiky, water it every week and a half to 2 weeks, kind of erring towards the 2 weeks unless it's been very dry and hot. Number 6 is going to be a spider plant. Now this is one that I didn't necessarily know of until we moved in and they were outside. In fact, the ones that we have here probably need a new lining added into the basket, but those are super fun because they grow their own offshoots, which then you can cut and plant into a new one. So here you can see that my new one is actually doing better than my potted one, and that is because I need to add in a new lining and soil to it. I know I need to do that. These plants prefer bright and direct sunlight, but they can totally tolerate having direct sunlight, so I think that they make them really easy to take care of. These plants prefer to be watered well, just like the Pothos does. I usually water mine once to twice a week.
Hey guys, so I had an audio issue at this point, so in editing, I'm just gonna film this bit over. So you guys may have noticed during the course of this video that I've been wearing this Monstera necklace, and I just kind of want to shout out the place that came from. That was from a small boutique called Roan Boutique near Santa Barbara in Padero Lane. It is a designer boutique, so the pieces are going to be a little bit more expensive. They're very, very high quality, and it's going to be good products that last you a long time. As you guys know, my personal philosophy is spend more on clothes that are staple pieces, and she's definitely one of those places you can do that. So if you guys are looking for a small woman-owned business to support, I highly recommend her.
Now we got number 7, Mexican air plants. So you might be thinking to yourself, every plant needs air, like hello, this one needs air. Only difference between Mexican air plants and air plants in general and Mexican air plants and any other plant is that air plants do not require soil. The only reason why I mentioned the Mexican air plants is because they come in so many different varieties and they're so colorful and they're absolutely beautiful. And that's always what I see my nursery call them. The care on these is relatively easy. They like bright and direct sunlight. I found this out from my sister who has them. I personally don't have any Mexican air plants myself, but her and my dad take care of them, and I gotta stop this and mention really quick that my dad does have a green thumb. I mentioned in another video he does not have a green thumb, that neither of my parents do, and that wasn't true. He just only kept 1 to 2 plants in the house, but he does have a green thumb. Anyways, so they have determined that they like bright and direct sunlight. In terms of watering, since you can't just water it like you would a normal plant, you typically can do one of 2 things. You can soak it once a week for 2 hours in water, or you can mist it multiple times per week with a few light soaks in between. And for number 8, take it away, Queenie.
Number 8. Peace lilies. If you want a beautiful leafy plant which can also purify your air and is also really easy to maintain, then peace lilies are the perfect option for you. I personally am obsessed with peace lilies. I love the way that they look, and I love how they flower as well. It can be a little bit difficult to get your peace lily to flower, but give it some time and a little bit of love, and I'm sure that you'll be able to make it flower at home as well. Peace lilies, in my opinion, are the ultimate beginner's indoor plant because they literally tell you when they're thirsty and when they need water. When they do need water, their leaves kind of wilt a little bit and they start looking a bit sad. So that's the time you know you should water your peace lily. Also, please note that with peace lilies, they do like a bit of sun, but they don't like too much sun. If you give your peace lily too much sun, the leaves will start to go dry and get a bit brown. So if you do have browning on any of your leaves on your peace lily, make sure you do put it in a shady spot so that it can regenerate. Number 9, lady palms. This is one of my favorite plants because it looks really beautiful and tropical, and it's really difficult to kill. Lady palms do like to have a bit of moist soil, so they're a bit different to the snake plants which prefer more dry soil. You may see the leaves of this plant going a little bit dry and hard, and if you see this happening, you can just trim off those leaves so that they can make way for new healthier leaves. These plants do grow quite slowly, and they do get a little bit dusty from time to time, so it's important that you do wipe down these leaves because sometimes they can collect a little bit of dust. Just like humans, we don't like having things on our face. It's the same with plants. If you see any of your indoor plants becoming a little bit dusty or dirty, make sure you do give them a quick wipe down.
And then for number 10, I'm going to be putting something on here that's a little different than the other plants because this one will definitely have to go outdoors, but this one is called a Boston ivy. Graham and I have it. They grow relatively slow, but they are absolutely easy to take care of. For these case you're gonna plant it on a side of the house or near a wall or something that they can climb up with that is shaded, just water them once to twice a week, not too much, but just water them well, and typically plant it into the ground. If you are gonna pot them, you wanna do it into a large vase because they do tend to grow quite big. This is a plant that definitely loves its shade though, so do not put it in an area that gets direct sunlight because you will the plant. That was the 10 easiest plants to take care of. Obviously, down below, go subscribe to Queenie. She is absolutely amazing. I, kind of think that I have found my first YouTube friend in her. She seems so sweet. She's very informative. And as you can tell from her videos, she planned out this so well and is very well researched. So if you're looking for a well-researched finance channel run by a female, go down below because she absolutely did an amazing job at it. Also on her channel a few weeks ago, we did a collaboration, so if you want to go watch that, definitely go watch that below. And then as always, don't forget to smash the YouTube algorithm for the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the smash button. Don't forget to ring the notification bell. That's right, that's the new one until somebody else comes up with a better one. And don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know if there are other plants that should have been on this list. My Robinhood referral link is down below if you want to use that. Graham's Weeble link, Graham's mentorship, all those sort of links are down below, so don't forget to use them. Also, my merch is down below. There's gonna be fun Halloween merch coming up soon for Spooktober, so be on the lookout for that. And don't forget to